Hello and welcome to this next episode on how to with the Nexat. In this episode we are going to cultivate and plant. We're going to plant some corn, but we're going to cultivate that field up front there full of weeds. So let's get going. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go into our DLC, and we will see that we have a cultivator there, the Vardestat Carrier NX. So we're going to utilize that one. That's going to go on the front, and then we're going to use our Vardestat planter Tempo NX27. You can of course also seed with the Vardestat Inspire NX, but we're going to plant. Everybody else seems to do seeding, so let's plant just for something different. Right, so if we go on to combinations for that, you'll see that it needs to connect up to the seed hopper, which kind of makes sense because you've got to put some seed in there, and that of course also does fertilizer. So let's get that bought first, and we have seen this before, so we won't spend too much time on that. Well, there's nothing really to do with these because there's no real adjustments that you can do, or no real add-ons that you can do. So we'll get that connected up, and this we should be old hat. Watch us go wrong now. There you go. And then the next thing we need to do is put on the planter, which is actually going to go in underneath this again. So let's go and buy a planter. The planter is down here, the Vardestat Tempo NX27. So we get that bought. Once again, very well modeled, pretty basic piece of equipment. There's nothing we can add on to it or change or anything like that, so we just have to buy it as it is. And we'll buy that, and we'll go and put that on. So that, as I said, that is going to go underneath. And once again, we'll get the lineups and just drive straight on over it and connect it up. And then finally, because we want to cultivate before we do that, we will go and back into our Nexat. So when we did the slurry and cultivating, we used the Evas, but this time we're going to use the Vardestat disc harrow for shallow cultivation. So that needs to be bought. So we're going to have a look at it. Also, as per normal, very well modeled. Looks good. That's going to connect on up to the front of that. Now I do believe that if you just cultivating with this, it'll connect up underneath the seed hopper, but if you already have something underneath the seed hopper, this will then connect up to the front. So let's just drive on up and see how that works. We get the lines, and it connects up to the front. There we go. Right, so let's go and get some seed and some fertilizer into there. And first of all, we need to go into transport mode. Once again, everything folds up nice and neatly. Brilliant little system. Well, it's not a little system. Brilliant system. So let's try something different. Let's see if we can reverse this in here. There we go. Whoops. Start filling. Solid fertilizer. And if we go a bit further, start filling seeds. There we go. Close it. And we'll just pop on up to the field here and go and get it done. I suppose we could have filled up more tidily with that reversing there. Not one of my finest hours. Alright, so as per normal, we'll get that into working mode. Watch it as it set itself up for working mode. Just fantastic. Say it every time. Right, so now in order to operate the system you need to be on the front implement, which is, as you can see under the control group there, we have the very front instrument or implement highlighted. So if we go onto there, we can lower the disc arrow, which is B on my controller, so whichever it is on however you are working. And then we can go on to turn on seeder. In my case that's X, and we should be ready to go. And there we go. We are planting corn. Of course you can plant in anything else that you can normally plant with the planter as well. Fantastic. There we go. I'm just going to check and see what's happening there. And there we are. We have planted corn. It's growing. We fertilized 50%. And of course there's no weeds. Well, the baby weeds are growing again because we haven't plowed. So of course you can't plow with this system at the present point in time. But in any case, there we go. We have cultivated and planted all at the same time. Hope you found this interesting and informative. If you have, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio.